Your number?
136027. So, do you know what gerrymandering is? If not, I'm just going to share a basic history and basic examples of gerrymandering. I first became interested in this subject in my senior year in high school. My teacher, Dr. Doleski, he taught about this for a while. We spent about 2 weeks on it, so it was kind of fun. I just want to show some basic facts and how this affects our elections and how we vote. It doesn't really matter for House of Representatives. So, the history of gerrymandering. Elbridge Gerry basically is the father of gerrymandering. He was the governor of Massachusetts in 1812. He changed the way a district looked so it would favor his party. He was in the Democratic Party at the time, and they were facing a feud was it Federalists? That's it. And basically here, the guy on the other side, the opposite party, told him, that will do for a salamander, gerrymander, because the district he had made looked like a salamander. So he rearranged the district into a salamander. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And so a basic definition of gerrymandering is dividing of a state or county into election districts so as to give one political party a majority in many districts, while concentrating the voting strength of the other party into as few districts as possible. For example, here in Ohio, as you can see with the northern part over here, it's Democrat, the rest is basically. So basically, if I divided your room up into 8 districts, 4 of you Democratic, 4 of you Republican, I say I'm going to put the 2 Democratic parties together, like put them in one district to 2. Then I'll put the other 4, separate one of the Republicans into 2, that'd be 6 Republican districts, and 2 Democratic, which means we'll still have 8. And so this affects your House of Representatives voting. So you would have 6 House of Representatives voting for Republican, 2 for Democratic. And this has been throughout history. And I want to show a quick video here if I can get it to work. Gee. There we go.
Welcome to AP 60X.
Advanced practice in 60 seconds for extraordinary results.
Today's word.
Gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering is that process that occurs every 10 years because of the U.S. Census.
We have 435 members of the House of Representatives. Each state gets representatives based on their population.
That population, though, must be represented one man, one vote, as Baker v. Carr suggested. So every 10 years they reapportion, they reallocate the total number of representatives each state receives.
They also redraw the boundaries of those political districts. That's called redistricting.
But those boundaries are not redrawn generically or without bias. These district lines are drawn to benefit an incumbent or benefit a sitting political party.
The result is a Congress, a House of Representatives, that's very ideological on both sides, because moderate representatives tend to be more vulnerable in marginalized districts.
Oftentimes we call this jerry-rigging elections, because the elected officials in the state legislatures who redraw these lines every 10 years choose us before the elections, which makes then the election outcomes almost a given fact. We're talking about gerrymandering, and we're the 2 teachers.
No fancy words, no fancy suits.
So basically what I was all trying to say there was that every 10 years we do have a census, and they based our districting on our census because Virginia has 13 setting electoral votes, which means we have 13 representatives in Congress. So I'll talk more about that later with Virginia. But first up, they relocate their districts. Like here, for example, we have Ohio. So I'll continue. Okay, now I want to go to North Carolina. Okay, this is, for example, there's a 51% vote for Democrats in North Carolina, 49% Republican. There is 12 senatorial seats of the time of this article, which is in 2012. Now there's 13 also. So here you'd think it would be 7 Democrats, 6 Republicans, but actually it's been set up to where it's 4 Democratic districts and 9 Republican districts. Is this lawful and is it constitutional? because that's always an interesting fact. But this is a court case involves this. It comes out of the 12th District in North Carolina, Easley versus Crummett. As you can see, in 1992, this district from here was from all the way from the bottom of North Carolina, Charlotte, up to Greensboro, North Carolina, near the border of Virginia. In 97, they gerrymandered again. Then 98. Kind of looks like a snake. Called the Snake District. But the issue here was North Carolina was accused of racial gerrymandering. So, for the fourth time too. All 4 times, this was in court. This time, it was by Easley, the governor of North Carolina at the time. However, there was not enough evidence from the proof because of racial background, because of how most African Americans in that area voted Democratic. So they really couldn't get anything from that case. But that shows that you can be prosecuted based on gerrymandering from race, which kind of makes it still legal to use, which is a problem. So, does your state use gerrymandering? Well, Virginia does. Well, here we go. This is in 2012. This is was proposed. As you can see, 10, 8, 11, 2, and 3 are the smallest districts in the state of Virginia. Why? They vote Democratic. And you could have seen that there could have been different ways to separate this, because as you can notice, here's the way most Virginia votes. Republican, of course. But, however, this past election we went Democratic. And so we had more House of Representatives Republican, but however, we did go Democratic for the state of Virginia for the past 2 times. So I don't think gerrymandering should be legal because of it changes the way we vote. It's basically saying we want this person in office, but it really doesn't count toward us. So I don't know. And I think we could have split 9th up, but I don't know, things too big. Okay. That's my works cited. And my conclusion. Gerrymandering may look unlawful. It is not in the court's eyes. And it affects the outcome for our elections. So whatever we decide to vote on, you got to think, if it's House of Representatives in what district you're in, it may have already been decided based on what the districts are set up. I read in one article the other day, the Republican Party agenda was to separate the districts so they can have a better vote. So I'm just hoping that one day we can address this problem in Congress or in the courts and get this fixed. It's not for the people. And that's it.